everyone. Our topic is Factors Affecting Foreign Direct Investment (FDI) from China to United States. My name is Yaqing He, and Alexander Pleasant is my professor. This is the introduction. From 2000 to May 2008, China participated in more than 1,300 rounds of financing from U.S. startups, with an estimated total investment about $11 billion. In the next decade, the two sides of the Pacific Ocean will have the strongest economic growth, the strongest military strength, and the closest trade links. The economic and political relationship between China and the United States are the core of world affairs. Studying the flow of capital between China and the United States has become very important for the financial world. Researchers want to understand what factors affect capital flow between China and the United States. Since data on the capital flow between China and the United States is difficult to find, this paper only collects data on China and the United States foreign direct investment (FDI) and only considers the FDI from China to US. Our literature review explored a number of social and economic factors, including military expenditures, high technology exports, GDP growth, trade openness, human capital, electricity consumption, financial openness, and bond money. First, we do some factors examined. There are some examples. Military expenditure has shown that military expenditure has significant positive impact in economic growth increase, but a negative impact in FDI. High technology experts Giboy conclude that business and political leaders in the United States feared China's growing share of world exports, especially for high technology and industrial goods signals, although exports of high technology had benefits. Human capital claims have shown that all measures of human capital have a significant influence on FDI, as are the traditional variables. Well, they also conclude that there is no evidence of the increasing importance of human capital or FDI over time. Based on a brief literature review, we think to find a better understanding of the key variables that can be an indicator of foreign direct investment. Therefore, we developed the following research question. What factors might be indicators of foreign direct investment from China to United States? Using data from Bureau of Economic Analysis and the World Bank, our aim was to identify the relationship using descriptive statistics, simple linear regression, and principal component analysis. The variable of interest is the FDI from China to US 2002 to 2016. This figure predicts an annual trend of FDI from China to US. Capital flow increased dramatically from China to US beginning around 2050, but decreased in 2017. It's believed that Beijing's policy make China rich and strong is the cause of the increase of 2050. In 2050, the One Belt One Road campaign enacted by the central government in February 2050. Much of the decline in 2017 was contributable to Beijing's regulatory crackdown on outbound capital flows, but the growing regulatory hurdles in the United States was the second main reason suppressed Chinese investors. This paper examined a number of independent variables, including China and the United States economic and social factors. with respect to foreign direct investment. We built a series of linear regressions to determine which variables might be significant. Since we only have 30 variables, we cannot consider all variables simultaneously. Therefore, we conclude individual linear regressions. However, simple linear regression might not show the relationship between independent variables, which multivariate linear regression can indicate. The dependent variable in each of the regressions is FDI from China to United States, and that simple linear regression models were created to remove the variables which were not significant for the Y variables. This is the social factors. The column China and US means electric power consumption of China, electric power consumption of US. So we can see that the bound phase is the significant variables because the p-value are less than 0.5. So we can see that military expenditure of China is not significantly significant because the p-value is 0.06. It's not significant at the 0.05 significance level. Therefore, we did not find support for Hansen. And this is the variables for electric factors. The same, we can see that population in the largest city of United States is significant, but the population in the largest city of China is not significant since the p-value is 0.7. That's surprising because according to the article mentioned before about human capital, the more large population in large city, the lower human capital price, the more inflow FDI for developing countries leads to less FDI outflow. So this is the variables. We do not find a relationship with FDI. These are not significant. It includes we use due to the limitation of the number of observations available for regression, we use the PCA analysis to derive key components and reduce the number of dimensions. We use some observations first and do the research. PCA allows us to determine the key variables in each dimension. After running the PCA, we found the value of components at the variables displayed. So we found that 89% of variables can be explained by two dimensions. The variables in each dimension and their loadings can be found in the table below. And this is the variables factor map for PCA. From here, we can see the dimension 1 and dimension 2 both explained 89%. And we can see most of the variables are loading to the dimension 1. This is the metric of a correlation coefficients between the variables analyzing the analysis, and this is a bound phase is the dimension loading and all of them is greater than 0.9 and most of them located to the dimension 1 and some variables is very close, so we cannot just decide which dimensions might be loaded. So we just kindly to seek that the TOC and allowing the dimension to. Here is the PCA results. We identify two possible names for the dimensions. For example, the first one might be market situations, and the second might be business-friendly environment. We can see that the high technology exports of United States shows a very highly negative relationship. It's negative 0.96, with foreign direct investment inflow to United States because the patent protection of U.S. Chinese capital has a strong willing to inflow to United States. This is the correlation of FDI from China to US with variables. And the research shows, as expected, a high correlation between many of the variables. If we suppose that the variables which are correlated with FDI from China to United States is zero point 0.5, we find all the variables are related with the dependent variables. Due to the limitation number of observations, yearly data points, we run a number of simple linear regression to determine the predictive efforts of each variable. This method might not show the complex relationship between the independent variables when using multivariate regression model. Also, the components which affect the FDI from China to United States are complex and varied. We cannot list all the variables and the political situation between the two giant countries. So the conclusion here, among all indicators, we find that market situation is the most critical determinant of the foreign direct investment from China to United States. A stable macroeconomic environment, such as low and stable inflation, can attract investors, while better financial institution of foreign direct investment may not be statistically significant. As our analysis indicates, high technology is an important situation to attract capital flow to United States. In the next 10 years, China will continue to invest in military power, high technology companies such as planes, large warships, semiconductors, aerospace systems, artificial intelligence in order to enhance the national hard power, and therefore might increase investment in the United States. Thank you.